So if you want to unmute yourself and say something, I mean, Miss Samantha, you're in my downline there. I haven't got to meet you yet, but girl, I see my back office and you are rocking it out there. So kudos to you. Can't wait to meet you. We're trying to get some stuff going here again in Fargo. So hopefully we can make that happen soon.
I just want to shout out for the twinsies on this fine Tuesday evening. Mona and Jeff, love your outfits and thank you so much for stepping up. Love you guys so much and appreciate you and all that you do.
I can share something real quick. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I was just going to share a win last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. A friend of mine added me to a group that her husband is battling cancer, and they hadn't really posted that publicly, but I was able to reach out to her and of course share what we've got, and they got on product right away, their whole family actually. So that was a super big win and I was really excited. So we're just praying that he sees really big results.
April, can you keep the group informed about that? Because I've got some other people that are struggling with the same thing and they're not willing to take that step. So anything you guys get from that will be helpful.
Sure. We've got a ton of testimonies. I've gotten at least a dozen friends of mine that have been on product throughout their cancer battle. So we've got lots of testimonies over the past 5 years.
So are those posted somewhere, or have you posted those already? Or
some of them are in my group, but a lot of people don't, take the time to type up their story. So some of them are just in my brain, but there are definitely some in the Activate and Thrive group that I moderate. I'm not sure if you're in there, but we can add you to that and you can search the group and find some of those. A lot of them are breast cancer. That's the most common one that I've had in my personal circle.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Is there anybody else who wants to go? We are still waiting for our guest. I haven't seen him pop up yet. Jeff, would you be able, she just messaged me. Would you be able to send her the link again? She says she's not able to log in. I know, buddy. So there are a couple things I can mention too while we're waiting. Like what is it? The pout. Don't, I think it's what you spend 100. Darcy, you probably know more about that.
Yeah, if you spend 100, you get a free dual pout. The two lip scrub and the oil. If you get 150, you get that plus free shipping.
Right. And then if you sign up or if a new consultant signs up, they get all of that plus the
Renew.
you renew. Exactly.
Yep.
Which is pretty awesome.
I know. I changed my subscription to the consultants so that I could get the free renews. So because if you have a subscription on the consultants health glow with the extra 10-pack of the collagen and the Protandim, then you get a free renew. And so that's how I was able to test it out. And it was so nice getting my subscription this month, and there it was in my package.
Yeah, well, we got two. Jeff did this thing with a friend, so he ended up giving his away. But yeah, I've been using it. I like it. I'm not somebody who, does that every day, the whole face and makeup and hair and all that kind of stuff. My makeup is typically my earrings, but I'm trying to use it because you are a product of a product, right? So yeah. Was she able to get on, Jeff?
I just sent them both individually the link, and I had to tell
Okay.
because I sent them some crazy link because I copied it from my Google Calendar and it made this big old long thing. But I ended up fixing it. They got it. I could see they both just saw it, so I'm guessing they're just gonna be jumping on here in a second. But yeah, so while we're waiting for them, I'll just give my shout out, and it's gonna be to my wife. She just reminds me to keep going when the tough is tough and when the good is good, to keep going and just to keep always going. My life it's not always consistent. It's not like there's nothing consistent about like just things don't just seem to sail along at the same thing. It's always an up or down or a total knee jerk or a side swipe or whatever you want to say. But no matter what, the lesson I've learned is consistency. It says it's not letting us in. They say they're not letting it, it's not letting them in. That is it's just the normal link, right? Like Melissa's, yeah, that's the one, Darcy, that I just gave him.
Yeah, if you copy and paste it, sometimes it adds numbers, it adds a space at the end. So tell them to paste it and then backspace, so there's no space in between
Okay.
the 0. And Mona, I've lost weight since I've started doing this crazy stuff. I don't know, but I've lost like 30 pounds. And so
Nice.
I've been using my Renew because at my age you get the chicken skin. And I was like, I told my daughter, sometimes I would rather be fat and have no chicken skin than be skinny and have chicken skin. Well, I started using it on my neck and down here and my scars from my breast cancer surgery. I just smooth it all the way down. And here she comes, Jeff. And it's made a difference in my in the wrinkles on my, the skin here. It's tightening it up. And so hey, now I get the best of both worlds. I get to lose the weight and lose the chicken skin.
Awesome. Well, our guests are in. I don't want to. I want to keep everybody's time going here. Jeff is going to introduce Tima and Cynthia. We met them. What has been? Probably almost 2 years, maybe something like that. Jeff, right? I don't know. We lose track of time in this business and all the people you meet. But these are people that have stuck in our lives. Our stories kind of intertwined with theirs as well. And we didn't know that until we met them. And yes, I'm going to let Jeff introduce because he's great at edifying and introducing folks. So they're just going to share with us how they're doing the things, a little bit of their story. And we're just super excited that they're here with us. And so if you guys could give them some love in the chat and some of that stuff, that would be great.
All right. Well, thanks, Mona. Yeah, so I'm excited to have them here, guys. We are in for a treat. Timathea and Cynthia Locklear, they are a mother-daughter duo. And their story is amazing. So it's funny because their story is part of our story. Let's see. Okay, so it's funny because we were at Building Depth one day, and Cynthia comes up to me and says, is it okay if I give you a hug? I know you don't know me, but I feel like I know you. And I gave her a big hug. She's the most amazing woman here, and she gave me a big hug, and then told me her story. And so her story was that. She learned about this from James Hayden, who's another amazing person. And that whole story, I'll let her get into and tell her story briefly. I'm not going to ruin it. But at the end of the day, what I'm getting at is she said no initially. She was too busy, didn't have time. And anyhow, she got her hands on a tool and she just kept this simple. And she has a real system that works and she's consistent. They're amazing. They've hit every single incentive trip, achievement award you can get. They're MVP golds, they're diamond sellers. I mean, not gold, excuse me, MVP silvers. They've hit MVP bronze. They've just developed this community around them. And you guys, they're not from this major metropolitan city. They don't have this like huge pool of people to talk to. They're not social media influencers. They're just two women with a huge heart that follow these basic principles and behaviors. They have created this amazing business that they're like changing people's lives. So they're from a place in North Carolina. They have amazing stories. And but basically how this intertwines is they took a video that I recorded with Cindy Reed at one point with Anthony on my lap. It was just an opportunity meeting. Cindy asked me if I would talk on it and share my story. I had no idea it was even being recorded. I had a guest or two on there at the time. Neither of them signed up. And I thought nothing else of that video. I did not know it even existed. Here they are showing it to just handfuls of people and using that as the third party tool. And so because of that, I've been in like a lot of living rooms and meetings with them, and they felt like that. But the truth is they actually do know us very well because we're at all of the events with them because they attend every event, and they've watched little Anthony grow up from like pretty much taking his first steps and all the way to beating people up and stuff now because he's a little wild boy. But anyways, with no further ado, we're gonna have them speak and share their story and tell us the tools and like just basically, guys, how did you get MVP silver? How did you get diamond seller? Like, what is this system? What are these principles and behaviors? What are we talking about? What? Yeah, teach us, please. We love you guys. You're still muted. You got to unmute first, though.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having us. We are honored to be your guest, and we're just like everyone else. And yes, the first time I seen you, my eyes I just became so excited and I wanted a hug, and I'm thinking, oh, you don't even know me. So that part was funny, but you have went into every living room.
Yes.
And all we did was just introduce ourselves and let everyone know that we were thankful that they allowed us to come to their home to share something so amazing that we were excited about. And then in just a short words, your video came on. And they were amazed. And we sit back, and of course, we always had our hard copy of a customer application, and we was ready to write your name down and listen to your story and find out things that was going, and and sign up customers and consultants. So Jeff, you
helped us build our business in the beginning, and that was amazing. It was a blessing because we didn't know what to say. The video said it all. So we were sort of like ignorance on fire. We used the tools that, I say that God allowed us to, because I watched that one Saturday morning, your video, and I think Miss Joanne sent it to me. I asked her to send me that video, and that's what we used, that and the ABC, and that was it. And we signed up lots of folks, and most of them were on the platinum packs back then because that's what we signed up people as back then. And then we got plugged into building depth. And
actually met you, and I got my real hug.
Yes. And then we learned about the principles and behaviors, attending all events, doing 15 or more presentations. And that's what we started out doing, was just that. And we were excited to share the products with folks because we were excited that we had something that was going to help our people, help them have a better quality of life. And we didn't even really know how to promote the business side of it back then. We just promoted the products, but people were coming on board with the business packs. So that was a blessing. And so when everything did change and we needed to reach that seller volume, it only took us a short amount of time, and we were diamonds because we had already been practicing the principles and behaviors as far as getting our customers and consultants, but we constantly got customers because we do have something exciting to share. We do have something that will change people's lives. The ones that want to stay on it it will change their lives, you know, and I believe that with all my heart. And that's why we are so passionate. Now, Mama, because she has instilled herbs and all natural stuff into our family for the past 20 years. And then this was like an answered prayer when James came and introduced it to us. So
Can I just interrupt for 1 second? Because I know your guys' story well, and I think it benefits everyone to hear a little bit of James's part of the story, guys. Because could you imagine having signed somebody up such as this mother-daughter duo on your team? Like everybody wants that, right? Wouldn't we all love that? That would be amazing. But the truth is James went out there. He was introduced from somebody else that he should talk to Cynthia. But when he got there, so James traveled. I mean, he went multiple states. When he got there, and correct me if I'm wrong, they called, and she actually said, actually, never mind, I'm busy. I'm cooking for a church cook thing. And you know what did James say? He said something like, I'll come over and help. Great, I know how to cook, or something like that. So James came over, and I'm gonna at least James's version of the story is that he sat here and talked, and they were cooking together and having a conversation. But at the end of the day, she really didn't listen to him. She just remembered something about the shampoo helping with her hair, and so she was interested. So the rest of that story is they end up signing up, and James has like a long travel to get back home, different airports to switch, get home. When he landed, I think it was back into the old compensation plan thing, but they were Pro 4s, I believe, or Pro 3s. I can't remember. Pro 3s by the time he landed to get back home from dropping them off. So, like from James, when he tells us, it's always about doing what you say you're going to do and following through. And even, and so he said that, he was going to show up and be there. And he did, even though it would have been easier for him to be like, okay, you're busy. Well, then I won't bother you. But, turns out to be a blessing for everybody. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry. And when you first started off, like I was to say, you did say you had that ignorance on fire. Can you kind of explain what that means? Because I think a lot of us including myself, get caught up in the details. And you guys aren't scientists, like you have a little trick here.
But actually, we did not know enough to talk about the products. The only thing we knew, and I always tell people, I said, after my 4th shampoo, I could tell my hair was getting thicker. And I guess my passion came out with my hair to begin with. And I'll be honest with you, Jeff, I believe that we touch more people in a short, quicker time, the less we talked about the products, because we let you talk. And you had the baby in your lap. And then Cindy Reed came, and people watched the ABC Prime. And then we were right there ready to say, what can we help you with? And we always suggested at that time, it was the Tri-Pack or the Vitality Pack. And of course, later on became the Healthy Glow Stack. So, but we have people still to the day that is still on their products and having great improvement with their health. I have one lady that was totally bedridden, and today she is driving, and she's 87 years old. So we're excited about the testimonies, and I think that's why we, when they did change over to in the Evolve, that the diamond status was okay for us because we have worked on customers. Like Tima said, we really didn't comprehend the business part at all. I really didn't. And I did not know I was making any money. I did not know what Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3 was. I didn't understand any of that. I learned that later, way later, after we went to Building Depth. And going to the events, going to Building Depth, you learn so much. And what I appreciated is that I got to see people people with the faces and to know the energy that we give to each other, and the positive energy, and sharing with each other, because you and Mona have touched us, James and Tracy, Dave and Joanne, everybody, Summer and Rob. I mean, and we don't ever say whose line you in or Who's your upline? We don't even talk about that. And Jason, everybody is there to help each other. And I love that part.
We're a big family.
Yes.
We're a big family.
And
So you
and-
guys not only are at every event, but you bring people with you to events. Like, how do you share with like new people you sign? Because it's a big, I mean, building depths in St. George, Utah, and I know from Fargo it's not cheap. I know from North Carolina it's not cheap. So what's this conversation that you have with the new people you sign up to get them there? Are you like blackmailing them or bribing them? Like tell us like what the conversation sounds like, because I know you're just transferring your belief, but like, and how does that, like, what does that sound like when you're talking to somebody you just signed up, like when you're telling them about the events? Can you share with us?
Well, we start out with sharing, well, we've got an event coming up, and if you want this business to work for you, go to the event. It's going to be well worth it. And to me, getting to the events is the key, because you're around like-minded people. Everybody encourages each other. You find out that you're all going through the same struggles, or the ones that are on the stage have already went through what we're going through, trying to get to where they're at. So that keeps you going. And another thing, we try to encourage people to always get their customers. And that's one thing that I believe helped us reach silver, because the same thing that we done, even though we didn't think we were building a business, the people that did come on board that wanted to share, we went out and shared with them, with their family and friends. So they had their 200 or more PV every month, and then it all just worked together, because we were trying to do that with everyone, and everybody reached their bronze level. And then, and then we eventually reached silver. So, and we still promote everyone is to reach that 200 PV every month. That's the goal that we keep instilled in everyone, and doing their personal 40 PV themselves. And I know things have changed right now, but we still, what we learned from the beginning, that's what we continue to teach to everybody that comes on board.
and getting people to events, Jeff. I heard Jason say this about James. James looks at people and said, events, you got to be there. And that's what he shared that with us. And I thought, I said, well, after I found out I had made some money, I was looking on the email, and I went, oh my goodness, I've got X amount of dollars. And my son says, Mama, that's a hack. Don't open it. So he came to my computer and he went, no, isn't that company with LifeVantage? I said, I think so. He said, this is for real. So when James shared with the events, and we really, and this is another thing, you got to trust your upline, and they're there for you. So actually James asked me, and this went over my head over and over, he asked me, would you be coachable? And I said yes. And so I think through it all is just knowing you're in a blessed place, just knowing that we have the best products, and knowing practicing the principles and behaviors when sharing that 15 presentations or more. Do what you say you're going to do. And another thing, we got to follow up with our customers.
Follow up.
They like to hear from you. They like for you to know if you're concerned about their product. And then some of them come on board and they become consultants. So what we do in becoming a bronze, a silver, a diamond, and the trips is really basic, the same thing, is practicing the principles and behaviors, attending the events. We're just in the best blessed place at the best time of our lives, you guys. And I always look at you guys, you're so young. That is a blessing. Use this energy to just, and I love it, Jeff. You and Mona have the baby with you. So he's going to always have mom and dad. And I know you got grandkids. That's a blessing to just know that you have something to offer your family for the future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you guys, and like it's an inspiration, and I love, like you were saying, it's just a one big team and family, and we're doing this together, so it's fun. I'm sure there are people on here that might have some questions for you, so I'm gonna let's see if anyone had any questions specifically, or you guys have
I just have a comment. I just want to thank you for taking away, being the example and taking away the excuses that all of us have, because, you know, you use 2 videos and a lot of us look at overcomplicating, and we look at you and see simplification and no excuses. And I just want to thank you for that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. How do you follow up?
Following up with a customer, I just go back and make a call. I ask them how are they doing and how are the products working. And if someone says they're uncomfortable, then you can share about they're going through detox and to push through and
Drink more water.
Yeah, drinking water. A lot of people do not know what to do. So if you can just coach them on some things that you've already did with the products, and everybody can be different. So just listen, and when you listen to them, they'll really tell you what's going on. And then all you have to do is just add some tips, especially in drinking the water. That's very important. But do follow up, maybe have a conversation, maybe less than a minute, and then do that often.
Follow up is very important because people, they like you to love on them, and that's the way to love on them. It might be a little aggravating sometimes, you know, but you do love on them. You've already went out there, you've shared with them, and you want them to understand the importance of taking the products, and they're not going to comprehend all that, you know, from one time sharing. Very few people do. So they need to be reminded why they're taking the products, you know, why they may be going through something. And sometimes you have to go through tough times to get to better times. So as far as their health, but the ones that stick with it, and we've been doing this now 2.5 years, everybody has amazing results. The key is just sticking with it, keeping it in their body. I went to a class reunion, not a class reunion, but a class party a couple of nights ago, and I'm 52, and I've several of my classmates, you know, I've shared with them, and some of them are still on the products, but some of them had got off the products. But after I checked my, you know, all my orders, a lot of them jumped back on, or everybody that was there are back on products. Some added more products, you know, because they want to see you. They want to see that you're having good results and improving, you know, because that's what they're looking to do. They want to improve. They want to feel better. They want to look better. And we've got the best products on the market to allow them to correct their inside, so that joy from the inside is going to shine through on the outside. And everybody just wants to feel better and look better. And so now I'm encouraging them to, let's go get your products paid for. Sign up as a consultant, upgrade to a consultant, and we'll go share with your family and friends, and we'll help you get your products paid for so you don't ever have to stop. So that's something that I'm tagging on with right now.
And another thing, everybody don't continue. I mean, when we say they don't stay, but the key thing is continually doing the minimum of 15 presentations a month. So you're going to add customers. So that way you won't lose your diamond status. You won't lose your status. You'll keep on going up. So you got to constantly keep doing the same thing.
Right. And getting new customers, because some of your old customers will stop, or they may have something that happens and they'll get back on. But, you know, but you got to continue. Yeah. You can't just stop, or eventually your money's going to run out, you know, and you'll be back praying for your products again. So our goal is to have our products paid for, but thank the Lord we're doing good. And we're
so awesome.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, somebody asked, I think they messaged me directly, but I was trying to get the group and said, what if somebody says it's not doing anything for them after 2 months?
You know what? I tell people up front, if I have a person, now I didn't do this to begin with, took a little time, but when a person said, I'm going to try it, I say, try it. I said, no, keep your money. Don't try anything for a month. And then I go back to 30 days for every 10 years. So if you're 60, you need to take it a minimum of 6 months. So I hope to get in people's mind a minimum. For God, you guys are young. I'm old, but I go to the 6 months. Sure, you got to allow yourself 6 months, and in this 6 months, and if you got family and friends, let's go ahead and sign up as a consultant so we can share, and that'll help you with your products. So ever watch Strategy You Choose? Just listen to your customers, listen to your clients, or
Because 2 months isn't enough. And that's what I tell them. Your body didn't get this way in 2 months. If you're 30, 40, or 50, you've got to give your body time. If you want something good, stick with it. If you want to age like you're, normally would, don't take it. So you just be honest with them. Honest, but love them. Let them know, I'm sharing this with you because what it's done for me. American Heart Association, all of them have already done the research. They've spent millions of dollars in this product. You don't have to take my word. I hope you trust me, but you don't have to take my word. Go to PubMed.gov and research it yourself right there.
And that's a good thought. When someone just shared about commit or don't start, and sometimes that's a good thing because some people can start and they take it a month or two, and then somebody else asks a friend, oh, it didn't work for me. They don't hear the whole story. So we're constantly going back to just still reach out to the ones that you've already talked with. And a lot of times they'll come back in, even though they might have stopped, but a lot of them will come back in because what they're doing, they're watching you, whether you realize it or not.
And a lot of people are just saying, they just want to know that you're going to continue with it. I've had people that have come back from a year, even now 2 years later, and let me know they've been watching me the whole time, educating themselves as far as what I'm putting online, educating folks, and now they're on board, and they signed up directly as consultants. So the thing is just keeping something out there, continue to share, continue doing what you're supposed to do. Get in front of folks.
You guys, aren't these ladies awesome? I love them so much, and their energy, the love for the Lord, like, oh my gosh. Let me tell you, Cynthia's hugs are like the best. I just wanted to melt in her arms. And man, it's a blessing having you in our lives too. And we don't want to take too much more of your time. Yeah, thank you so much for getting on here tonight. Does anybody have any more questions for them before we let them go? Because I know it's pretty late where you guys are. All right, then. Thank you so much.
I just want to say thank you. And it was so nice to meet you in San Antonio.
Yeah. We were hanging out at the Alamo with them,
At the
like
Alamo.
how cool is that? Like, that was so cool.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to find that video that they shared that I was in, and I'll post it in Freedom Leaders or somewhere, and people could share it around, whatever, again, if they want. But I was looking for it right now. I can't. I have it. It's just not like right in front of me. So
I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool, and then I'll get it posted. So perfect.
And Jeff, you look. I want to put a picture along with the video because when you started, you had lost 87 pounds.
Yeah.
And she made a statement. She said, that's like a whole person out of a person.
Yeah.
Now look at you. So you're continuing and continuing. So just the results of products is right here. I mean, we are walking testimonies for people that want hope. God's already allowed us to, just be able to share. I love it. I love to be able. And when people say no, it's okay. Because I know it's not a complete no. We can always follow.
And I think if anyone can learn from my lesson is that I was in my head that my story wasn't good enough, or that I wasn't delivering it, or whatever. I don't know. You just always think that it's all, I don't know. I just had that thing, and here they are sharing my story just out of their heart, just because it moved them and it worked for them. But when and I say we, when I'm speaking about me, when I get stuck in my head, it's not effective. You know, you're not able to share from your heart. So I think the lesson I learned from them is just come from your heart. It's not about, it's not getting stuck up here isn't going to help you. And so they just showed that coming from their heart. And I think that's why it works so well for you guys talking to people, because if you talk to either of them, you just feel that love they come from, and they're just genuine and awesome people to be around. And so, I mean, we get to hang out in cool places like the Alamo. I think the next opportunity we'll get to see them is in Atlanta, Georgia in February. So when is that? February 5th or something, I believe.
February 23rd and 24th.
23rd and 24th. So it's like actually like tickets from most places to Atlanta are really cheap, especially if you plan now. April already said we all camp in her backyard, right, April? Maybe I'm just kidding. It's actually kind of a drive from April's house to Atlanta, but there are awesome people out there in Atlanta that we'll get to see. So if you guys want to join us, we're going to be out there. I know a lot of people are already in that area. It's like Jason's hometown, and a lot of other people's. It's like that always travels all these places to go. Now it's in their backyard. So it's going to be fun and seeing everybody and getting together. And there'll be a corporate event again sometime. I'm not even sure when the next one is. It's in Nashville, though, which is another really affordable place. It's kind of a hub to fly to.
March.
So, huh?
It's in March.
Yeah, in March. So want to start planning ahead. Some tips are start looking now, and you can even like add little watch list things to Google or whatever, to Google Flights. I'll tell you when the cheapest flight is. And because it's fun, and it's like they said, it's worth doing it. I know Victoria just went to her first like event, and I don't know, like maybe you guys could tell me, like, have you brought a lot of people to events? You ever have anyone go, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that, what a waste of money? Like, do they ever tell you that?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Like, to me, it's like it's just so amazing, and the people, but really I'm just thankful for you guys that you're here on our team meeting, getting to share with everybody, and this is exciting. So you guys have really been able to inspire me as well, just knowing that it's really just about being consistent and following those things. And it, you want to hear a funny inside story. So we're sitting there at the table talking with Tyler Daniels. He's explaining this like new concept he has about you and a friend. And so I don't know if you guys have heard this yet, you will, but it's basically the most simple version of the comp plan that we can explain to people who aren't interested in building a team, and them and a friend can still make 6 figures in a year, basically signing up one healthy glow stack a week, them and a friend, and you could 6 figures. He says, oh, you just have to, and so he's telling that, and Cynthia very humbly pulls him aside and says, I just feel like that's being lazy. And he kind of laughed, and he said, I love your heart. I think that's funny, but what the problem is they just say 15 or more like it's nothing. And I just heard them say that multiple times. Like, how many of us really struggle to share this with 15 people or more a month? Like, not everybody, but I have personally. But they just do it like it's just like, well, that's what we're supposed to do. Right. I mean, it's like not even a question. So when they were told just talk to 4 people, I just, they were like, well, isn't that kind of being lazy, Tyler? Tyler's just laying out the easiest plan with the least resistance for entry to have a big success with the easiest amount of thing for people who aren't wanting to do anything, basically. But he has an idea that they can turn from there into consultants, because people that are scared of either the industry or building a team, and it's just showing them if they wanted to do affiliate marketing with a partner, they could make 6 figures. And so then you could, but anyways, I just loved that example. And that was their response. That just because that's what they're trained to do. It's just, they're doing their 15 presentations. Like it is just what you do. There's no like, if we do our 15 or maybe I'm going to do 15, it's just like, no, that's just like, and that's probably also one of the big keys of why they keep hitting all the incentives, and they're going to Punta Cana, they're going to everywhere that the company is going to have an incentive, they'll be there. So if you want to get to hang out with them, get to an incentive trip, you'll be on a cruise with them, or some building depth after party at Blue Elam's house, or whatever else things that we do cool, like, maybe fly across the Grand Canyon with them or something. But that's kind of what they do. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is the 15 presentations and keep doing, sharing, and act like come from your heart. And I love that like it's so simple. Like that's what it is like when I look at them, it's like they're just keeping it simple. here I am overcomplicating, and we meet people at Building Depth to share their stories of how they overcomplicated things and how they overdid these. And so I think a lot of what you two have done is like learn from other people's mistakes instead of going out and creating your own mistakes. You've just been like coachable, really, right? Is that the other key? Just like kind of like James
Yeah.
told you this is what to do. You guys were like, all right, James. And that's
Yes,
because James has already shown that he knows how to do it, right? I mean, why not
Right.
follow somebody that's already figured it out? I get it. So it's
and
awesome.
so, hey, and we want to say thank you so much, and thank you for allowing us to share, and we thank you guys as the team allowing us to be part of your team. That's everything. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jeffrey Mama. We
Hey,
love
Jeff, Heather has a question in the chat.
Sure. Let me see. And I'm also posting that wait, well, man, hold on. I got the link to the video so I could post it right now for the people that are on the Zoom that want it. Let me just get it real quick off of the, here we go. Oh yeah, that was I remember that. Oops, sorry. It's playing. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so, and the question in the chat was, where was it, Darcy? Oh, the video? You're muted, Darcy.
Sorry, I clicked on your video and it was like loud. It was
Oh.
like playing. She's asking how else, what are some other
here.
Oh, what are some ways you meet? What are other ways you meet people except online? So how do you, since you guys aren't how do you guys keep finding new people to talk to? That's the question, I think, ultimately.
I'm going to give an example, because this is my youngest guy, totally stranger. I thought he was at Food Line helping with Christmas trees. So I told him I was ready for a Christmas tree and asked him what he loaded on the truck. And he says, I'm not the Christmas tree guy. He happened to be the telephone guy. And we struck in a conversation, and I really didn't say anything. The only thing I asked him, would you like to know of something? I said, you're real young. I said, would you like to learn something that you don't have to work till you're 40 and 60 for somebody else? And his eyes sort of opened up. I said, well, I've got something that I want to share with you. So I said, I got a Zoom Monday night. Would you be willing to hop on a call? And he said, yes. We exchanged telephone numbers. I invited him. Actually, I sent him 4 invites as soon as everything, well, I had invited him earlier, but 4 invites as soon as the video started, and he came on board. And he said, I'm interested. And then after that, I asked him to come on the next call, the training call. He came on the training call. So today he's driving back home to Raleigh, which is about 2 hours from us. And he said, I'll be home soon. And he's going to look at what it hasn't been a done deal, but he said, I'm going to look to see what consultant pack I wish to start with. So that was a totally stranger. But most of the time I do have a warm market. So I'm talking to people I haven't seen in a long time, but it's just a hello, how you doing? I've got something exciting I want to share with you. Give me 30 to 45 minutes of your time. And that's basically what I say.
Right. Keep it simple. Don't say anything more. We used to throw up on people. I learned that that's what we were doing in the beginning, was throwing up. So we stopped that. We don't mention Pro Tandem or Life Vantage, when we're out.
Just simple.
Sharing now. Now online, I put it all out there now, since with the collagen. That's a little different. But it's 30 to 45 minutes. If I'm face to face with somebody, I don't tell them anything until we're able to sit down in front of the video and go over things, do a full little presentation. So normally they're otherwise signing up with a pack, or at least they become a customer. So, and you ask them, do they have family and friends they'd like to share with, and get a list from them. name and number, and sort of connect with them to set up that meeting with those folks to share more. So I have got some customers like that. But I always try to get referrals from you folks.
So, well, thank you two so much. So, again, we appreciate your time, and it's great seeing you all on here. I know our fearless leader Melissa is on a quest, a voyage, and so I know she's actually driving right now. The way she described it to me was hilarious. She said and Darcy will get a kick out of this. She said she's driving a Spring Creek van full of kids through the middle of nowhere on a potholy road. And so she's on her way, I think, to North Carolina, right? Is that or something? Anyways, but she gave me that visual so I could visualize what she was doing. The Spring Creek van, in fact, where me and Darcy and Melissa used to work and met, and we had these vans, I think like 15 or 14, 12 passenger vans, and they were real big, and we drove them over potholy roads. But anyhow, so she's doing that now. So it's been an honor. I know me and Mona have enjoyed hosting, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank you.
And thank you. And Melissa has been a great help for us too, Jeff.
Yeah, we love
yes,
Melissa.
love
Yeah.
Melissa.
All right.
But thanks, everybody.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Good
you.
night.